Alright guys, welcome back to another banger video. Well, let's get right into it. Tonight's topic is a popular one. I'm sure you've seen this title plenty of times. Women love assholes. Now, we all have our thoughts about it, but one thing's for sure. There's a reason it always gets said. Because, hey, no matter what you think, there's gotta be some level of truth to it. But if you really think about it, they say that because it leaves a mark. It's unforgettable. This person, this asshole, this prick, this dick, whatever you want to call him, he left a lasting impression, an indelible moment in her brain. She's never gonna forget this guy, for the better or worse. Now, the way I see it is, these people that share the stories of the so-called assholes that wronged them on TikTok, Instagram Live, or any other social media platform, they went overboard most of the time. They probably did do something that warrants that name calling. But sometimes it's only because they did something that she didn't like. And perhaps that means having his own boundaries. You see, as a man, you want to do things that you truly desire, that you want to do. You're not doing them to please others. Unless it's necessary, unless it coincides with your mission. So naturally, if you've been with a woman before for an extended period of time, a long-term relationship, you know they will task you, they will order you to do stuff, and they will nag you if you don't. Now, a lot of us, me, myself included, yeah, at first, I have some pushback. I'm like, no, I ain't gonna do that. But sooner or later, as the months go by, the years go by, you just kind of get tired of it. It's like, shut up. Well, you don't actually say it to her face, but in your mind, you're like, man, I'm tired of this 10th, 100th fight. Not even a fight. I'm not even gonna start a fight. I'm just gonna do it. And that's where you mess up. You see, an asshole, he just doesn't care. And that's his leverage. Because he does not care, that means he has the power to walk away at any moment. And a woman senses that. You already know, the greatest power in a negotiation is the one who's able to walk away. The one who needs the other party less wields the power. Because the other party, if they want something, they're gonna have to placate. They're gonna have to give up something. Compromise. Whereas the other one's like, hey, I don't need you. I'm walking. What are you gonna do about it? You want me? You better change your tune. And that's how these guys operate. That's why they have that certain level of appeal. You know, the 3 traits known as the dark triad: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. All these 3 traits are focused on selfishness to some extent. Not empathizing with others, just focusing on personal gain, getting that upper hand, that advantage. Now, us, normal human beings, we have certain morals, checks, and balances to keep us from actually screwing others over, killing people, you know, causing them bodily harm, financial ruin. We just can't do that. But to some certain extent, we have to harness some of the beneficial powers that these traits bring about. Because in this day and age, men have grown weak, being unable to stand up for themselves. I've seen plenty of my friends and their friends who are in marriages where they don't get sex, they get treated like dogs, worse than dogs actually, because dogs are universally unconditionally loved. They get treated like a subclass, slaves, berated in front of the crowd, in public, in broad daylight in the streets. These men sing to the tune of happy wife, happy life. And you gotta question yourself. Is this the path you want to go down? See, you can get a girl acting like this, being a slave, being a yes man, kissing ass. Sure, you'll get the position. But at what cost? How would you feel for the next decade, 20 years, 30, for the rest of your life? You have to be at her beck and call. You ask each and every one of these friends of mine. I thought about it. Just bring up a simple question. Can you tell your wife no? Just tell your wife, no, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. Can you do it? And I'm sure if some of you watching this video have a girlfriend, I ask you, hey, can you tell your wife no simply because you don't feel like doing it? And if you even slightly hesitate, you have that lump in your throat, that going, that bead of sweat coming down, going, oh, ooh, no. Then guess what? You're already infected. Because a man is supposed to be the leader. And you allocated that position, you gave it away, then you're simply not the leader. And you get looked down upon. And when someone looks down on you, that can only mean they don't have respect for you. Each and every one of these people in loveless marriages, loveless relationships, you can see it. Their soulless eyes, they're just in it because it's easy. They don't want to do the effort of finding other people, finding a new relationship is too much trouble. They have that scarcity mindset where they go, all right, well, that's it. I got lucky. She just fell into my lap and I'm good. And in some cases, it's the other way around too. This girl sticks with this guy. And why is that? She doesn't have any options either. So the two are locked in a soul-crushing, loveless marriage for life. Think about if this is what you want. And if not, then guess what? You have to embrace the asshole within you. Harness that energy, that power. But you might say, but hold on, that's just not me. I'm a kind, loving guy. Well, guess what? How are your results? You got a girl? And if you do, does she respect you? Are you calling the shots? Does she berate you? Think about what kind of dynamic is going on. An asshole is an easy over-encompassing term. The root of it is knowing yourself, knowing where you stand, and not bending when things aren't making you happy, not fulfilling you. Now, I'm sure there are some duties you gotta carry out for a relationship to work. There has to be compromise. But it goes back to what I'm saying. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing something. And can you tell her no? Now, of course, when it comes to the horror stories, well, minus the quotations, because some of them are actually true. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Some of these are true, heartbreaking stories, even domestic violence. Abuse is 100% very real, and to take that very seriously. So we're not gonna write these off. So I take back the air quotes, but a lot of these stories, they spring up because, like I said, a story has to be interesting, something that is unforgettable, whether for the good or bad. And most of these are unfortunately traumatic. So you only hear about the assholes that truly are to the word, live up to the name, and they do some heinous activities. Literally doing whatever they want, doing every woman, cheating, cheating, domestic violence, physical violence, or emotional abuse. All these traumatic experiences, yeah, it's true, they do this stuff. But you have to understand, that's why it gets put on the internet, because these women are actually hurt. That is why you have to take these stories as an isolated incident, a microcosm. You have to know that you cannot take these stories that you see and hear and extrapolate it to the real world. Because for news to be report worthy, they have to evoke strong emotions. And most of the time, let's be honest, the news you see, most of the time it's bad news. Somebody died, an accident. Yeah, you get some good news here and there, but how rare is that? So don't let social media skew your image and go, oh man, I can't be that. I can't be assertive. I can't have healthy boundaries. There's always two extremes. You can be a complete pushover, or you can be a complete narcissist, sociopath. Completely uncaring, only there to use and abuse. But it's not black and white. There is a healthy medium in between. And that is where I want you guys to be at. Be at a position where you're doing things that you genuinely want to. You're making your woman happy because you want to. You get joy and fulfillment out of doing those, not out of obligation, not out of fear. A lot of these men I hear, their answer is, oh, I better do this or wife's gonna get angry again. shoot, I don't want her to start nagging. You know how she gets when she gets pissed off. All these fearful approaches to these situations. I want to let you guys know this is not the way. I've certainly been there. And you guys don't even know it because it goes by slowly at a time. You know, you take a step back here, a couple steps back there. Before you know it, you keep on taking steps back until your back's against the wall. And that becomes your new norm, where you forget that you even have territory. You've been conquered so much that you started believing that you started off back against the wall right from the start. Before you know it, that is your new norm. So really think about it. Do girls actually like assholes? Of course not. Just think of all those horror stories that get posted. But before it leads up to that, dial it back a bit. That is the sweet spot. Because obviously, you're not going to hear the news about some woman reporting to TikTok, posting a story going, oh man, he's such a dick, but he's great. Well, I mean, you hear that stories, but that's definitely a lot less. So I'm going to leave off with this and catch you guys on the next video. Peace.